Hello, dear viewers, and hopefully Embark. This is going to be a bit different from my usual content. Normally, I'd be kicking off the new season with a big goofy subathon. I've done it every season since I started streaming, but not this time. Season 7 is about to launch, and for the first time, I just can't bring myself to do it. Not because I'm burnt out, but because this part of the game that I fell in love with, melee combat, has been left behind yet again. Let's talk about what happened. Season 6 was already the worst Melee has ever felt. It was full of glitches, bugs, nerfs, and most importantly, complete silence from the devs. At the very last moment, we got a patch that was supposed to help us, and unintentionally, it added so many bugs that me and the majority of my Melee community have found the game basically unplayable since the last patch. Season 7 had a chance to fix that, but instead, in the beta that I just played, 2 Melee weapons got nerfed. None of the bugs that were supposed to be fixed actually were, and there was no meaningful balance changes that make Melee more viable. If anything, they feel worse. I'm not the only one feeling this way. My chat during the betas was filled with Melee mains who were heartbroken. These are the people with over 1,000 hours in game, people who bought bundles, battle passes, and supported this game financially and emotionally from day one. We're not casuals, we're diehards, the ones who stuck around, and we feel like we're being told we don't matter. After the beta ended and I got into my breakdown where I kind of ripped the game apart a little bit and was honest about how I felt, my viewership doubled. If that doesn't state the situation that we're in, where people, even after the gameplay ends, and I'm just sitting there awestruck at the lack of care for Melee players, doubles my viewership on the game, I think that's something that needs to be noted. This goes beyond numbers and balance tweaks. Melee isn't just weak, it's frustrating. It's filled with hard counters, awkward interact, and bugs that have gone untouched for months, if not seasons. Some of these have existed since Season 1, and now we're being asked to spend more money on a new monetization system with more expensive battle pass and some of the most mid-tier cosmetics the game has offered, in my opinion. I just don't know if I can keep doing this. I streamed this game full-time for nearly 6 months, and I normally log about 100 hours a week between streaming and playing, and now, in the last 2 weeks, I played less than 40 hours. This season, I'm switching my subathon from a launch celebration to a birthday celebration. Unfortunately, I just can't see myself being able to play this game for potentially several weeks straight being locked in a subathon with the state that Melee's in. And so because of that, I'm going to have to be focusing more on variety during it, and I can't focus on the finals in the way that I truly want to. And that makes me sad. I love this game, and I love the potential it has or had. But loving something doesn't mean staying silent when it hurts you. I'm protective of my community. They've gotten me to where I am now, and they've supported me along their way, and I feel it's only my job to have their backs in this. It's not just me that feels this way. The entirety of my community came to me today during this beta and was absolutely heartbroken at the state of the game. We've been begging and pleading for Embark to fix things. I reached out to Embark on multiple different fronts and only ever received a response from one person when I was reaching out on behalf of the entirety of my Melee community. Me and the community piled together and sent over a long list of all of the bugs that are the issues and the recent ones that got entirely messed up with this recent patch. And I got told, we'll get to it when we can get to it. And then this is what they drop with the new season, more nerfs for Melee. How do you think me and my community feel, Embark? What are we supposed to do? You still have the love of the Melee community, but our enjoyment has been tossed out the window a while ago at this point. If you don't act soon, you're going to lose some of the most passionate players you've got. You have a $100,000 tournament coming up, and the only 2 Melee that were viable, Sword and Hammer, you entirely nerfed to a point that now there are 0 Melee weapons that realistically have a viable chance in that tournament. That's just not fair. We're not asking for overpowered tools. We're asking to be able to play the game we love in a way that's actually fun again, whether or not we're competitive or casual players. We have financially supported the development of this game, and we belong in this game too. If you ignore our community, I don't think that's a great look. We love you, and we've supported you this far. It'd be nice to see it go both ways. And as for me, I can't see myself spending another penny on this game until that happens. Why would I spend another penny on this game if they're not going to support Melee? They've continually shown, as I proved in my last video, that since Season 1, they've slowly been nerfing and leaving Melee behind. And I've been here since day one supporting this game. But how long am I supposed to put up with that before I eventually move on to something else? Melee mains aren't just another group of players. We're part of the soul that this game has. You have to remember that. You can't leave a portion of your player base behind and expect it to not have repercussions. If you're a Melee main or you just want this game to succeed, let your voice be heard. It's important to remember that you, the consumer, and the person who is actually digesting the content being created for the said consumer is the one with the power in the situation. If you're not enjoying it and you go on to a different game, which, just a heads up, there's been an amazing amount of beautiful games that have just been released or about to release during summer, there's power in where you put your money. And if the Melee community starts spending our money on other games, Embark's going to see that, and they can't afford to lose more player base. Player base has already been an issue they've been dealing with for seasons. They have a low player base. They can't afford to lose more. They're not making quite enough money. If you look at Nexon's budget reports, Embark has claimed that they have not been as profitable as they were hoping. So what are you doing driving away a massive part of your game? That doesn't make logical sense. That doesn't make financial sense. You're going to drive away the Melee players and implement a new financial system that's hopefully going to get you better income out of the player base you have left. I think we all know what that looks like. I think Embark's better than this. Personally, I think this might be more Nexon, but at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter who's doing it. The game is no longer in a state where most of the community that I help form can enjoy the game. Me and the Melee Brigade are fading out at this point. And unless things change, the majority of us are going to find different games to play until hopefully Embark makes this game good again for Melee players. But at the end of the day, we've supported you thus far, Embark. We deserve some attention. We deserve some love. That's all, folks.